The war between Ukraine and Russia, which escalated into a full-scale invasion in February 2022, has become one of the most devastating conflicts in Europe since World War II. What began as a political and territorial dispute transformed into a brutal, high-tech war involving conventional forces, advanced weaponry, and asymmetric tactics. The conflict has not only reshaped global alliances, but has also introduced the world to a new era of warfare, marked by the integration of old-school artillery and modern drone strikes. Russia launched its invasion with overwhelming firepower, employing tanks like the T-7 to B-3, T-80, and the more modern T-90M. These were backed by massive artillery barrages, using systems such as the BM-21, Grad, and the two S-19 MSTA, self-propelled howitzers. In the skies, Russian Su-34 fighter bombers and Ka-52 Alligator attack helicopters were deployed to strike Ukrainian military positions, logistics hubs, and civilian infrastructure. Caliber cruise missiles were fired from naval platforms in the Black Sea, reaching targets hundreds of kilometers away. Russia also utilized Iskander ballistic missile systems with terrifying precision, often used to hit critical infrastructure and military command centers. Ukraine, initially at a disadvantage in terms of hardware and numbers, rapidly adapted. By leveraging Western support, anti-tank weapons like the American Javelin and British NLAW next-generation light anti-tank weapon became symbols of Ukrainian resistance. These portable systems proved devastating against Russian armor, especially during the initial weeks of the war when Russian convoys advanced without adequate infantry support. Ukrainian troops also utilized Turkish-made Bayraktar TB2 drones with deadly efficiency, conducting precision strikes on enemy tanks, artillery, and supply lines. These drone strikes, often recorded and shared online, played a key role in shaping international perceptions of the conflict. The battlefield evolved further with the arrival of long-range artillery and missile systems from the West. The United States supplied the HIMARS high-mobility artillery rocket system, which allowed Ukraine to hit Russian supply depots, bridges, and command posts well behind enemy lines. These strikes disrupted logistics and slowed Russian offensives significantly. In response, Russia intensified its use of Iranian-supplied Shahed 136 kamikaze drones, flooding Ukrainian airspace with low-cost, explosive-laden UAVs intended to strike energy grids and urban areas. Ukraine also received advanced air defense systems to protect its skies. The NASAMS Norwegian Advanced Surface-Duer Missile System, German IRIS-T, and US-provided Patriot missile systems bolstered Ukraine's ability to intercept incoming threats. These systems have played a crucial role in blunting Russia's aerial assaults, especially against civilian infrastructure in Kyiv, Kharkov, and Odessa. Meanwhile, Soviet-era equipment such as the S-300 SAM systems were also pressed into action. By both sides, naval warfare has been more limited but not insignificant. The sinking of the Russian Black Sea Fleet flagship, the Moskva, by Ukrainian Neptune anti-ship missiles was a major psychological and strategic blow. Russia responded by escalating missile attacks from its remaining naval assets, though its operational range was more cautious after the loss. The war also saw trench warfare reminiscent of World War I, especially in the eastern Donbas region. But unlike the past, these static fronts are frequently under the watch of satellite-guided artillery, loitering munitions, and constant drone surveillance. Electronic warfare has become increasingly critical, with both nations deploying systems to jam GPS signals, intercept communications, and disabled drones mid-flight. Cyber warfare has accompanied physical conflict, with Russian and Ukrainian hackers targeting each other's infrastructure and propaganda networks. As the war continues, both sides are evolving. Ukraine has begun receiving modern Western tanks like the German Leopard 2 and British Challenger 2, along with American M1 Abrams. Russia, for its part, has introduced upgraded variants of its older tanks while trying to field limited numbers. Of its newest T-14 Armata, the future of the war remains uncertain. But the weapons used thus far have already redefined modern conflict and left an indelible mark on global military strategy.